There are days when you feel tired before you even start cleaning. Not because the house is especially messy, but because your mind is already running through a long list of small tasks, getting things out, preparing tools, wiping this area, then that one only to finish and still feel like the space isn't truly tidy. Over time, cleaning stops feeling like a way to care for your home and starts to feel like something you simply have to endure. I used to think, maybe I'm just not disciplined enough. But then I realized something very different. The problem isn't the person, it's the way we're forced to do everything manually with so much effort. Modern life already comes with enough pressure. Our homes are supposed to be places where we recharge, not places that drain us even more every time we look at them. And that's when I began paying attention to cleaning tools and supportive devices, not to keep my home perfect at all times, but to make caring for it feel lighter, more natural, and easier to maintain every single day. To start with wall-mounted or over-the-door hooks. There was a time when I cleaned my home very consistently, but the moment life got busy for a few days, everything slowly slipped back into chaos. After repeating this cycle many times, I realized the problem wasn't a lack of discipline, it was the endpoint of my actions. I would finish using something, but there was no clear place to complete that action, so my hand naturally put it down wherever was most convenient. Wall-mounted or over-the-door hooks solve that exact moment. They don't force you to change your habits, they meet your habits where they already are. When a hook is placed right where you come home, take off your jacket, or set down your bag, hanging things up becomes almost automatic. Over time, chairs stop being coat racks, tables stop collecting bags, and clutter simply has fewer chances to grow. The house doesn't require more cleaning, it just stops getting messy so easily. Next, plastic or fabric baskets with handles. We don't always have the energy to clean our homes properly. Some days after work, your mind is completely drained and seeing clutter only adds more pressure. I used to ignore it altogether, thinking, there's no point, I won't finish anyway. And so the mess stayed quietly growing. A basket with handles helped me break that cycle. Instead of expecting myself to do things the right way, I only asked myself to do one simple thing: gather everything up. All the items that were out of place went into the basket, no sorting, no thinking. In just a few minutes, the space felt noticeably lighter. More importantly, I no longer felt like I had failed. When the room feels less chaotic, my mood softens and it becomes much easier to come back and keep going. Moving along open containers for everyday items. I used to buy a lot of beautiful storage boxes, ones with lids dividers, all the right features, yet my things still ended up scattered everywhere. The reason was simple. Every time I put something away, it required a small sequence of actions, and that resistance made me hesitate. When we're tired, the brain will always choose the path that requires the least effort. Open containers respect that reality. When you're done using something, your hand just drops it in, and it's back where it belongs. There's no psychological barrier, no feeling of doing extra work. For items you use daily, what matters isn't hiding them away, it's being able to put them back consistently. And it's the simplicity that creates lasting habits, not systems that only work for a few days at the beginning. One thing that can't be overlooked is catch-all trays. There's a truth that took me a long time to accept: we all have instinctive drop zones. When you come home with your hands full, you need to put things down immediately, and in that moment, blaming yourself is pointless. Catch-all trays don't try to correct that instinct, they organize it. When each clutter-prone area has its own tray items, stop spreading outward. Keys, earbuds, wallets, cards all stay within a contained zone. As a result, the home feels more orderly without stress or self-criticism for habits that are simply human. Alongside that, low shelves or open shelving. I used to think that storing things neatly out of sight was the best solution. But the more hidden my belongings were, the more I forgot about them. And when I forgot, I bought more. Open shelving forced me to face reality: what I already own, what I actually use, and what is simply taking up space. Seeing your items every day changes your relationship with them. You use things more intentionally, and it becomes easier to let go of what no longer serves you. Open shelving doesn't just make a home look tidier, it helps you slow down your consumption, stay more aware, and step out of that constant feeling of not having enough. In addition to that, a small laundry basket placed in the right spot. Many people think they're messy because they're lazy, but in reality, things are often messy simply because they're in the wrong place. When the laundry basket is too far away, clothes end up on chairs, beds, or the floor places that feel temporary but somehow last much longer than intended. When I placed the basket right where I change clothes, dropping laundry into it became completely natural. I didn't have to remind myself at all. That one small shift in placement freed up both physical space and the guilt I used to feel every time I looked at a growing pile of clothes. Especially helpful is the not in use box. Decluttering itself isn't difficult. The hard part is deciding. Every item carries emotions, memories, or that lingering thought of maybe I'll need this someday. When forced to decide immediately, I often chose to keep things simply to avoid the mental effort. The not in use box gives me a buffer. I don't have to be decisive right away. I only need to acknowledge that I'm no longer using the item. Letting go becomes slow, gentle, and consistent. And surprisingly, once something has been in the box for a while, releasing it feels much easier. Something that's absolutely essential is a lightweight mop or broom kept within reach. Homes rarely become dirty all at once. They get messy because small spots are ignored for too long. When cleaning tools are stored away out of sight, every small mess turns into a "I'll deal with it later," and eventually those moments pile up into a much bigger task. When the mop or broom is always visible, I take care of messes while they're still small. It doesn't have to be perfect, just clean enough to feel comfortable. Because of that, the home stays in a manageable, pleasant state. And I no longer feel intimidated by cleaning the way I used to. Additionally, drawer dividers. There was a time when I hated opening drawers because every time I did, I was met with a mess, small items mixed together forcing me to dig just to find one thing. Over time, I started leaving items out in the open just to avoid the frustration, and that's how clutter slowly took over again. Drawer dividers don't instantly make a drawer look perfect, but they restore a clear sense of order. Each item has its own space with no need to think about where it should go. When you open the drawer, everything is visible, no rummaging required. What really matters is this. When putting things away stops feeling irritating, you start using your drawers again instead of letting everything spill out. The home becomes tidier, not because you gained more space, but because you're finally using the space you already have. One surprisingly effective yet often overlooked tool is mini adhesive hooks. I used to hang hooks only in the obvious places behind doors or on walls meant for storage. But after spending more time in the same space, I began noticing all the dead zones, small corners where items constantly appeared, but never had a proper home by the kitchen counter next to my desk near power outlets. Mini adhesive hooks solve exactly that problem. Headphones hang near the outlet scissors, hang by the kitchen masks, hang where I place my bag. When items are stored right where they're most often used, there's no need to remember or remind yourself to be tidy. At that point, order doesn't come from discipline, it comes from convenience. It may sound unrelated, but this is something I only came to understand after cleaning my home over and over again. When I don't have a clear awareness of time, I tend to procrastinate. I'll clean in a bit, I'll do it tomorrow. And clutter lives precisely in those vague later moments. When there's a clock in the spaces where I spend most of my time, I start breaking tasks down into smaller actions. If I see that I have 5 or 10 minutes, I'll quickly wipe down a corner or gather a basket of items without waiting for a completely free block of time. A clock doesn't clean the house directly, but it helps me act earlier before things become overwhelming. And it's those very small, almost unnoticeable moments of tidying that keep the home feeling consistently calm and manageable. Good cleaning tools don't make you a more disciplined person. They simply remove the heavy, repetitive, and exhausting parts of the work. When you no longer have to prepare so much when small tasks stop requiring so much effort, you begin to clean more often without forcing yourself. And most importantly, cleaning no longer becomes something you wait to do when you're free. It turns into a small habit that happens naturally within everyday life. A tidy home doesn't come from perfection. It comes from having enough support in place so caring for your space no longer feels tiring. Thank you so much for listening until the end. If you found this video helpful, please give it a like and subscribe to the channel. I'll see you in the next video.